with your girl Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. Yes. Hey, Leticia, how are you? I am in my normal location. Yes. How is everything going, Leticia? How was your day? I am super excited, but you know what I have to do before I do all of that? I need to see if I'm buffering, and I'm not. And for once, the picture doesn't look so bad, but I think the webcam, hey, my little tatted heart. I think with the webcam, it would definitely look like worse. So I'm hoping that StreamYard can beta test it more so that the quality of the webcam output, input, whatever is better so that when you guys see it, I'm crystal clear. Or maybe it's just saying I need a better camera. But hey, I thought I had a decent one. What? Anyway, so how was everyone's day? I'm so excited. I have a guest today. I can't wait for you guys to meet them. It is going to be amazing. Yes. How was your day? Yes. I'm telling you, like, hey, J-Dog into his house. I'm telling you, like, you think that you guys have a story, like, you would be so surprised with the amount of stories that are out there that people are living, and people are just overcoming so many obstacles in life. And I'm super excited just for that reason to have her on. Yes. So, I have to do my little rundown and then we can bring her in because she's waiting patiently. You'll see in a moment, my little tatted heart. So anyway, today was a good day. It was long as usual. I got a few things accomplished. I woke up, I went to work. I just finished getting my hair did. Look how fast my hair grows, right? And this was not even blown out. This wasn't even blown out. This is just let it sit in the afro and, twist it up. So now I'm here with you guys. But I'm not going to delay. I'm not going to delay the process. I'm going to have our guest come on. You just see her right now. Just to give you a little background, I've known my guest for quite some time. And throughout the years, I've been able to, I can't say firsthand witness, but I've been able to understand the different things that she's gone through. And then also, just in the simple fact, I forgot one thing. Please, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, turn on your notification bells. Please make sure you subscribe to my guest and also to me, and also turn on her notification bells. And then also, if you can give me a thumb something, doesn't have to be up or down. I really, honestly, it's just content. And I want you to really give what you truly feel is what you saw. Not to give me a thumbs out because I told you so. Hey, Rosie, how are you? Uh-oh, I hope you're not crying. I can't today. I have a guest. Maybe, what up, Easley? Maybe our guest, Rosie, will really bring your spirits up. So please hang in there, please. So anyway, I've known her for a very long time, and she's been in everything. She's been in the spotlight. She's been she's traveled. She's written a book. But anyway, without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to someone who is truly amazing, someone that we all need to get to know, someone that we all need to support. And without further ado, I would like to introduce you all to Melissa. Hey,
everybody! I'd be like, yes. I'm dancing like, what, me? Okay.
That's right. How was your day?
Thank you, Joy. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, thank you for being here, because you could have always said no.
No, I couldn't.
I don't know. Anybody has the right to say no for whatever reason. So
I would never be able to live with myself then. No, I said no. No, but I mean, I appreciate the opportunity, and from a selfish standpoint, it was great. I couldn't say no for me because, I'm passionate about my story, sharing my story with people. And yeah, and I wanted to also support you. And I'm just so happy you asked me, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody who's watching.
Yes, guys, make sure you are sharing out the chat if you can. Eat Sleep, I'm gonna ask you if you can drop links if you don't mind. But Melissa,
Yeah.
so tell us, like, okay, before we get to the book,
Yeah.
tell us what you used to do.
How much time do we have? Wow. Well, let's see. How far have I come? So I have a degree in economics. I have an undergraduate degree in economics, and my original professional background is in finance and accounting. So this is Melissa 2.0. Melissa 1.0 was a corporate girl, and I worked in administration. I've worked for nonprofits. I worked for a big five, well, I guess now it's a big three accounting firm. And all throughout my life, I've had the entrepreneurial bug in me, because family, like both sides of my family, being from the Caribbean, has been entrepreneurial. So that's always been like in me, my passion. And so all throughout my journey, my professional journey, I've tried little things, like before I had the courage to go full steam ahead, which is what I'm doing now. So I've been kind of entrepreneurial all along. And so we'll get to the book, what my book is about.
Mhm,
The journey that I talk about in my book was like a pause on my life.
mhm.
And in the midst of, before the full pause that I'm going to tell you about, um, I went to graduate school. And so now I have a graduate degree in Maritime, which is international transportation management.
Uh-huh.
Before all that, I was an actor too. So
Right.
I went from like
About
corporate.
that.
Yeah, I've been all over the place. My dad is an artist, and my mom is artistic too. And so that's a part of me also. So I've worn many hats in my life. So I was an actress for a while. I did film, independent film. I did TV. I did music videos. I did a lot of theater. And yeah, so I've done commercials. And what else? Yeah, so and I did all that up until the point where I had this experience that I wrote about. So
So before we get into that experience, can you write in the chat your
oh,
YouTube channel?
thank you.
Because they're actually, Eat Sleep is gonna find your channel and then post the link in there. And guys, also at the end of the at the end of the thing, and it's in there, the link to her book is actually in my description. And also, if you guys have questions for her while she's talking, please put question marks ahead and then question marks after your question. Um, so
And this
this,
is my first live chat ever.
oh yay! This is her YouTube channel. Eat Sleep, if you wouldn't mind finding it, please. But go ahead, continue. The floor is all yours.
All right, so what do you want me to talk about now?
So tell me about what inspired you to write a book. Just start from there.
Okay. Wow, what inspired me to write this book? First, let me show you the book.
Okay.
It's called How Death Saved My Life. See, can you tell this is my first time? I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
No, you're good. You're good.
Can you?
I think you're good.
Thank you. So my book is called How Death Saved My Life. And it's overcoming scleroderma and stage 4 Hodgkin lymphoma. And
What is scleroderma? Because a lot of people do not know.
right. So scleroderma is an autoimmune disease.
Mhm.
And everyone's heard of lupus. It's very similar to lupus. And so it's an autoimmune disease, which means the immune system, something goes haywire in the immune system, and it thinks that there's something to fix. It thinks that there's an injury. And when you have an injury, the immune system kicks in, it sends collagen. Like if you cut yourself,
Mhm.
your immune system is going to send collagen to the skin to repair the cut. But with scleroderma, there is no cut, there's no damage, no trauma. And for whatever reason, the immune system gets a signal that there's something to repair, and it keeps sending collagen, and there's nothing there. So then you have this buildup of collagen. And collagen is one of the proteins that forms the connective tissue. And
Mhm.
so it's a connective tissue disorder, and connective tissue runs throughout the body. So it can actually be diffuse, which means that it goes throughout the whole body, or it can be limited. Some people only have it in their hands, only their feet, only internal organs. And so it does affect the internal organs as well as the skin.
Mhm.
You see that most prominently, of course. The skin is the largest organ of the body. So it affects the skin. And so with this buildup of collagen, your skin gets very, very tight, very hard. And scleroderma actually means hard skin. It makes the skin hard, hard. Like you can't. It's hard, so it doesn't move much, and so it causes a lot of problems. I can go to the list. We could be here all day talking about the list of things it causes, but including inflammation, like most autoimmune diseases cause, and so on and so forth. So it makes you very, very sick.
Mhm.
And it happens to be more severe for Black women. Black women tend to get the most dire version of it, most of the time diffuse. And it actually, the disease itself can be fatal. And we tend to succumb to it more often. And I heard all these things when I was going through it. I'm in remission, let me say, from scleroderma as well as Hodgkin's lymphoma. Uh, and Hodgkin's lymphoma is known as the good Hodgkin's, and it's very highly curable. So that was kind of a blessing, in this, considering the circumstances. But scleroderma is something that's known as a permanent illness, incurable, and causing permanent disability. I was very severely
Yeah.
disabled for a long time. And so, yeah, where was I? So I had this scleroderma thing, and it took about a year to get diagnosed. So I got my diagnosis, and I thought, oh, I got a diagnosis because all this stuff was happening to me, and I didn't know what was going on. My looks changed. I was always severely fatigued. I was actually a very active person. I was always out. And when I started to get sick, I started to get tired. I couldn't figure out why. And my friends would call me, "You going out tonight?" And I'd be like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay in the house." And like, "What? Melissa's in the house?" Literally in the house, yes, my house, because I couldn't go anywhere. I just was like so tired all the time. So it took forever to get a diagnosis, a year, maybe more. And I finally got the diagnosis. And so when I got it, I thought, great, now let's fix it. Because I thought I could take a pill and it'll be done. I was like, oh, good. It's like having a cold or something. Just give me something so I can get rid of this and get my skin back and get my life back. And the rheumatologist who diagnosed me said, no, it wasn't a rheumatologist. It was a dermatologist. He said, you need to go to the rheumatologist. I was like, a rheuma what? What are you
Yeah.
talking about? I don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? Never heard of sclero, whatever, but let's just get rid of it, whatever you call it. I don't really care. He said, no, 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 no. You got to go to the rheumatologist. And that's when the whole cycle began with doctors and illnesses and this thing progressing and just changing my life.
Mhm.
The book is about that process. It's about where I started. I always say, even on my channel, like I was so aloof and I was just going on my life, doing my thing. And then this happened, and then you have to like reassess everything. And the book, I hope I did a good job of going through that journey, starting from some place where you could do whatever you want, and
Mhm.
then this thing happens out of the blue, and you're like, what is this? and then you have to go. You watch these things happen to your body. The
What was like like the most thing? What was the thing that was just like, yo, like this is messed up?
oh man, oh, so many things. I think rock bottom. Like I get to the point where every day is like that, but when I was completely disabled, like when I couldn't get out of bed, when I couldn't brush my teeth, when my mom had to give me a bath laying in bed, and I couldn't get up, and just the thought of taking a shower was terrifying, because I can't even explain it, but like you feel like your body's not yours, and something is taken over you, and you can't really fight it. And so you're terrified of falling, you're terrified of getting up because of the energy it takes and all this stuff. So yeah, when I was completely disabled, that was when I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna live like this. Like, how could anybody live like this? I couldn't even wrap my mind around it. Like, I can't live like this,
How
period.
long was that? Like, how long was that time frame?
uh that was I must say it was partially my fault that I got to
Oh,
that I got that bad,
oh.
because I would not accept that I was that sick. And that's
Like,
what
you know what? Stop right there. A lot of times, I hate to cut you off, but
yeah,
guys, a lot of times, just what she said, a lot of times we are diagnosed with things and we're so used to being active, right? That we come to the point like, no, 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 no. I'm not going to accept this. I'm just going to keep living and it's going to have to go away. So,
yeah,
so
exactly.
glad you mentioned that.
No, I've had migraines my whole life, and I would just ignore it. I'm just like, okay, like headaches is anything that would happen, I'd get sick, and I just be like, it'll go away. I didn't really pay attention, like I wasn't the kind of person to sit in something. And so this was so beyond my comprehension. You know what I mean? Nobody talks about this. And I never heard of it before. I'd heard of lupus before, but I've never really understood what it was.
Right.
I just knew that sometimes people died from it and it was really bad, but I didn't really know any details about it. So when this was happening to me, I'm me.
Right.
I heard all this stuff about black women, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's sad or whatever for somebody. That's not my story. And so I was not accepting it. And so that's when I went to grad school, which is a maritime school, and I was in the regiment. So I was like a cadet, but I was very severely disabled at the same time. So that's why I say it was my fault, because even my doctor was like, because you have to sign a medical waiver. He was like, I don't want to sign this and you go there and drop dead. Like, that's how bad it was. But I was like, I'm not gonna die. I swear, I promise I won't die. And I didn't, but I eventually did, which is why the book is called How Death Saved My Life. Because I actually technically did die while I was in the hospital for those 6 months, fighting the cancer. And it was the book is about how that whole experience transformed me. First of all, it made me humble. Okay. So when your body tells you something, you listen to your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You listen to your body, you use common sense. You're not superwoman. I think I thought I was superwoman because I could do everything before. But that, when something happens to you, it just taught me you have to be logical. And it was not logical what I did, but in a sense, I did it because if I had stopped to really absorb what was happening to me, I probably wouldn't have been able to get out of it. So I had to distract myself.
So, like, for people who have never heard of scleroderma, and guys, by the way, yeah, everybody, right? When I heard about when I heard about your diagnosis, I didn't know anything about that, but I had recently started my t-shirt company, and I made a t-shirt in honor of Melissa. I still have that. I never made it, but I think I might, just because of this chat and just so like it'll bring more awareness to people. But
Yeah, that
yeah,
was.
remember that t-shirt? Yeah.
Remember how you started a t-shirt company?
Yeah. Oh, guys, this is the person. The person, yes. This is the person that started Be the Difference primarily. Yes. See?
I told you, entrepreneurial. She had a post on Facebook. It was work hard, snack harder.
Yeah.
And I said, that's a t-shirt. You should put it on a t-shirt.
And I was like, okay.
And she made a t-shirt. And now this is years later, you have Be the Difference. That's like
6 years
amazing.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so what are some symptoms people can look out for if they think they may have scleroderma or don't know?
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's the thing they say about scleroderma is it's individualistic, so everybody experiences it in a unique way.
Mhm.
But some common things is I have to think back too. I remember in the very beginning, I just felt very tired for no reason. And I was, I had the same activity, same eating habits, everything, but I was like so exhausted all the time. And I felt like I was bloating up and I
Mm,
couldn't figure out why. So that was the first thing. The fatigue hit me first. And then after that, a bunch of other stuff. But a lot of times people have trouble breathing because the
mm,
lungs are always involved. And so I have pulmonary hypertension because the constriction of the vessels makes it harder for the air to flow and everything. But so you might have trouble walking up steps, catching your breath, very, very severe fatigue. And the skin tightens. Your skin gets very hard and dark, dark, dark. I used to look like I was in a fire, dark,
yeah,
shiny skin. And then if you have dark skin, then you get these light spots. So I still have some
mhm,
light spots in your joint where your joints are here and on all over the face. Yeah, so your skin color could change, but really it's like the tightness, the tight skin that
mhm.
happens. And you get stretch marks. I used to have stretch marks in my like inside my elbow, putting cocoa butter on it. Like, what's going on? And cocoa butter was doing nothing for me. Like I wasn't gaining weight. I'm like, why do I have stretch marks? But it's because my skin was so tight and you gotta stretch your arm. And then I had trouble stretching my arms all the way. I didn't know what was going on. So those kinds of things, the skin, fatigue, and breathing problems sometimes.
Mhm.
And your hair can fall out too.
Really? Now, the scleroderma, is that like
Let's spell it there.
is that like something that is attached to like another ailment too? So
Well,
if you get scleroderma, are you also gonna get another autoimmune disease?
oh, well, I have lupus overlap.
What's that?
So I have scleroderma and lupus. So yeah, you can. And with Black women, we more likely than other people get both.
Oh, wait, there's a question.
Yeah.
Um, Eat Sleep says, "What causes this?"
Nobody knows.
Mm,
I just got real lucky. Nobody knows. I got lucky because it gave me a story that I can share with people who, the biggest message from my book is that, you know, we all go through stuff. Everybody goes through something, you know what I mean? And maybe not this severe, but I have the extreme example of how the power of the spirit and the mind are, limitless. You can overcome all kinds of things. And I know when you're in the middle of your own thing, you don't think that. It doesn't feel like that at all. I was there. I was like, I couldn't see my way out of this. But it's faith, and you have to constantly renew your faith, constantly renew your mindset, and honor how you feel. That was the thing. If I had to cry, I just cried. And I would cry on my mom's shoulder when I needed to. I had my little pity party, but then you pull yourself out of your pity party. You have
right.
to do it. You got to have your pity party, but you have to shake it off and just keep pushing forward. I always say I kept holding on for my breakthrough. And someone earlier in your chat was saying that she doesn't feel like she's not having a great day or something like that. whoever that is, I don't know what you're going through, but
Rosie, yeah.
everybody goes through something. And so the book is about the power of the spirit, the power of the mind, and it just goes into detail about things that I experienced in that process of learning about myself, learning about the world, and learning about people in a way that, very severe difficulties, hardships, give you a perspective on that you wouldn't otherwise have. And so the key is don't go through that. Just learn the lesson to learn somebody else's lesson. Don't do all this. Okay? Skip the drama. Just take the lesson. Believe me. So that's the gift right there.
So like how did you get into remission? Can you give us a process of how you got into remission? Because guys, he has a book. Don't forget, if you would like to check out the book, go into the link in my description. It's called
Saved my life.
yes.
It's
Through all of the ailments, through all of these different ailments,
yeah.
Scleroderma, lupus, stage 4B Hodgkin's lymphoma. Like, you can't tell me somebody has 4 or 5 different, like, major illnesses. And look at how she looks right now, guys. Amazing. So we want to know about that, and then we want to know what you're doing currently now to like keep yourself going. Can just start with that right there.
So
How did you get remission?
Okay. So how I got to remission, that's the whole holding on for my breakthrough thing, because there were really no answers for me. By the time I was diagnosed, stage 4B means the final stage. And the B is where the symptoms are so severe they're visible and like overwhelming. So I was at like the final stages of this cancer when I got diagnosed. And so it was just basically a daily scramble for what to do. It's a whole drama thing that happened when I got into the hospital, which I didn't want to do anyway, because I had been in and out of the hospital for so many years and like so many times, so often. And I was reluctant to go, even though my oncologist said, first of all, it was a miracle that I got to the oncologist. It's a whole story. But
we want to know. We want to
know. Wait, let me tell you about. Okay, I'll come back to that. But what put me in remission was the luck of getting cancer. Ironically, because scleroderma was already killing me, and the chemo is sometimes used to treat scleroderma, but you only get it if you have like the contract. So sometimes people's skin gets so tight that their fingers contract like this, and they can't use their hands anymore, and they have to get their fingers cut off and their toes. And like if you're in that situation, then they will do the recommend chemo to treat you. I actually have a cousin right now who has scleroderma, and she's in France, and they're recommending chemo. And we were talking the other day, out of the blue, she called me and she was saying, "Yeah, they want me to do chemo." I was like, "You better get that chemo, girl." So it sounds scary. It's like chemo, but what you have is scary anyway. So you might as well get the chemo. So it was a chemo. Okay, so. I know I'm talking about chemo like it's candy. I'm sorry.
No, but it's okay. You've been through it. So
yeah. So I got the diagnosis, and it was a very reluctant surgeon who did the thoracotomy, open lung surgery. So they had to go into my lungs to get the tissue to make the diagnosis official and all that kind of stuff. So that's a whole thing too. So I got the diagnosis, and then I had to get chemo. Chemo actually was exacerbating the scleroderma symptoms. So the chemo was helping the cancer, but making the scleroderma worse. And therefore, ACVD, I think, is the combo, the chemo drugs. I could only take 3, then 2, and then they stopped because it was like no point in doing that. So then it was like, okay, what do we do now? Like I couldn't move. I was in this hospital bed all day, every day. And so they just kept trying, right? So then sometime down the road, I they said, okay, let's see if her stem cells are good. So they went into my spine, girlfriend. They
Mm.
tapped into my spine. That's something you don't want to do. That's what I'm saying. Get the book and read the lesson so you don't have to go through all the trauma. Because so they had to go into my spine to go into the bone marrow to to take a sample of my bone marrow to see if my stem cells were good. Like I didn't have any disease, no sickness, and they were fine. And so they replicated my stem cells and gave me a stem cell transplant of my own stem cells. So that kept me going for a while. This is what I mean by holding on through your breakthrough, because all this stuff is, I talk about it now and I can have a sense of humor about it, but it was like really beyond explanation how hard it actually was, you know? Um, and so I did a stem cell transplant and that was good. But then the cancer, it came back. And I all through this process, I'm praying. Everybody's praying. My church is praying. And I had a deal with God. I just said, I'll never forget. I write about it in the book. I talk about praying for the next moment one night because I could feel the death on me.
Mm.
And I just said, okay, I'm not going to die tonight. I'm just going to ask you, please. I didn't say that. I just asked God for the next moment. And I just kept saying that prayer over and over. That's my moment to moment prayer. I just want the next moment. That night, I could have definitely crossed over very easily because it was that hard to hold on.
Mm.
But I said I was going to do it. So I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
I didn't intend to get that emotional about it, but every time I think about that, I do get emotional. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's okay.
Um. Anyway, so everything came in a nick of time. I think because there was so much praying for me and my faith. I believed that an answer would come, and I learned submission because I talk about humility because I was praying for what I wanted, but I accepted the answer that I was going to get if it was going to be no, but I was still going to pray for what I wanted, which was to live. And so everything came through in the nick of time. So just when there was no other answer, my oncologist told me, we don't really know what to do. And I'm so grateful that the doctors did try as hard as they did. But he came in, we had a meeting and he said, I found this study, what do you call it? Um, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's a study that immune immune therapy. That's it. A new immune therapy study, and my experience exactly meets the criteria for this study. And so I had to go and give more blood and all this stuff, and I was a match for one of the DNA profiles. So I did the immune therapy over. I had to go every couple months or whatever. But anyway, the point is, how I got to remission is all of that stuff: the chemo, the stem cells, and the immune therapy. If I did not have cancer, I would not have had that opportunity. So the cancer saved me. So death saved my life.
Wow, that's amazing, guys. That get the book. So what do you do now in your spare time?
Your time, I wish. Um, yeah, so I'm rebuilding my life. And, I make a joke that, I asked to live and I got what I asked for. life,
Yes.
life is hard. This life is very challenging. But I feel like this all made me such a stronger person. It's changed me in a lot of ways. Made me more confident, and I reflect. I try not to like stay looking back or whatever, but I can reflect sometimes on how I was before, and I can see the growth, and I appreciate that. So what I do with all that is I do have a business, a small business that I'm working on. in the maritime sector. And so,
Can
I
you explain? Can you explain what maritime is? Because I don't know what that is, and I'm sure a lot of people don't
you
either.
don't know what maritime is?
No.
I'm shocked. Are we allowed to say how we know each other?
No.
So, maritime is anything by the sea, by water.
Okay.
So, ferries, you can have a passenger movement or cargo. So I'm on the cargo side. And so I do international shipping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm focused on the Caribbean and Africa. And so that's what my business is in. And so I'm working on that, and it's a very, it's interesting.
You have a website for that so I can put it in the chat? The maritime?
And my website is, yeah, I do. It's yeah. I can type it if you want.
Yeah, yeah, type it in. How long have you been in business?
Uh, I've been in business. I've been working on this for quite a while, off and on because of the illness. But yeah, quite a while, years. But it's coming to fruition now.
You
Mm,
hear that, guys? Sometimes it takes years, but it doesn't mean that
mm,
you're gonna have to give up. Everybody's journey is different, and I don't think.
yeah.
I mean, like, look at Jeff Bezos. I like to use people
Me
who.
too. Oh my
Like,
gosh, I
look
love his
how long.
story.
Look at how
Yeah,
long it took for him. Like, I'm pretty sure Amazon, Gramazon, you know what I'm saying, World is on, had,
I know.
come into true fruition for like maybe 5, 10 years.
No. 20 years he worked on that.
20 years.
20, and I remember in the 90s, it was a while, yeah, like late 90s or something. He was on Oprah, and all the analysts were clowning him like, oh, what's he going to do? Okay, so he sells books online. What now? What's he going to do with that? He's going to sell books online forever. And he got on Oprah to tell his vision for the company, and nobody really understood what he was talking about. And look where he is now, richest man in the world.
Amazon, not even just the richest man in the world, but he's the richest retailer. He's the richest investor. He's running things like Amazon. I think even like 1-year olds know what Amazon is. You know,
Everybody knows what Amazon is.
everybody does. Everybody shops that way now. You get your groceries, you get your anything from Amazon, your movie, your
I
entertainment.
just got my delivery before we started. Yeah, I mean, you just never know. You have to stick with it. You have to stick with it. You have to really believe in your purpose and have a passion for that. And people going to clown you. People going to sabotage you. I've been through so much running this business, just trying to get it off the ground. But everything you go through teaches you something, and you use it as a stepping stone to get higher and higher. And now I'm in a so much better place, with my business goals than I was before. And the team is coming together.
Nice.
That's the hard part.
When you'll really pop, when you have a team.
Yeah, you need a team. You can't do anything by yourself, especially this. This is, yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And so I have my book, that I have that.
Mhm.
And what else? I'm doing other stuff too. I have a podcast. It's called Rainbow and Bloom. That's on wherever you listen to podcasts, it's playing. Yeah.
Yeah, if you bring a link, if you can put a link in the chat, they can listen to it.
Yeah.
Hey, Flag now. Well, while you're doing that, let me roll call everybody. All right, so everybody that I did not say hello to, I'm gonna try to run through. What up, Tim? Hi, Leticia. I already said that. Hey, Melissa Kate.
I don't remember the link, sorry.
Hi, D. Lifted Muffy. How are you? Hi, Patty D.
Hi everybody. Sorry.
Yes, Melissa may not see the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see it. Oh wait, live comments?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see all of them. Guys, Melissa is our guest tonight. She actually wrote a book and released it like almost 2 months ago. So yeah, about 2 months ago. The link is down in my description to the book. And if you just came in the chat, you kind of missed her story. Basically, she was given her first encounter of what she has been going through. And now she's in remission, thankfully. The name of her book is called How Death Saved My Life, Overcoming Scleroderma, Lupus, Stage 4 B. Lynch Hopkins, and so much more, and life. You know what I'm saying? So like this Melissa has a story, and I think like we all have stories, but I think the best part about it is that no matter what, and she said some key things that we talk about every day on Hello World is whatever you put your mind to. Your mind is very powerful. It can get you through some really hard times. Thankfully she is surviving, and we all are surviving daily from something, but she is surviving daily, and she's not letting her struggles or her ailments or her used to be ailments
Yeah.
stop her from pursuing a full-time business. So whatever you have in mind to do, don't let that stop you. I mean, of course, and another great thing that she said, listen to your body.
Mhm.
Listen to your body. How often do we neglect our bodies? How often do we neglect going to the doctor, to the dentist? How often do we neglect saying, oh, my headache will go away? Or how often do we just let things just go by the wayside, like, oh, I'll take care of it tomorrow. And then 6 months later, we're like, man, if I took care of it 6 months ago, I wouldn't be here in the hospital. So
Yeah.
consider all of these things, guys. Start taking care. And we talk about this every night. Take care of yourself first, because you will be no good for anyone else.
Mhm.
I'm so glad that Melissa, I'm so glad that you're here, because you're going to give encouragement to people who are going through something similar to you. Because not only can they say, well, I don't have scleroderma, but yes, she's gone through cancer. Oh, that's nothing. Okay, then she's gone through lymphoma. You know what I'm saying? She's gone through something else too. She's gone through lupus. So like what else? What else? Okay, those are like some of the most um treacherous diseases you can have. You know what I'm saying? Those are diseases or ailments. I rather say that. Those are ailments that can really slow you down and stop you from being a part of the outside world, like doing regular things, driving and all that stuff. And you drive, right?
I drive a lot.
You see?
I just want to say hi to Tim. Tim, thank you so much. I'm seeing the chat now. Yeah, I drive and yeah, everything back to pretty much normal. I do have some long-term things that I always have to deal with, always take medicine for. But,
Hey, it's better than
yeah.
a hospital for 6 months.
Oh my gosh. Don't
Um,
traumatize me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it definitely. It's so funny how things come full circle in life because I remember, I don't remember who this lady was, and sometimes I feel like the universe, God, the angels send you like little bits of information that you're gonna need later, but you don't know it yet.
Mm.
And I was talking to this random lady. It was a while ago, and I can't even remember how we met or whatever, but she was telling me like it was weighing so heavy on her heart. She was in the hospital for 6 months, and it was so important for her to tell me I was in the hospital for 6 months. And I couldn't wrap my mind around what she was talking about. In the hospital for 6 months. Why would you do that? I was like young, an older lady. She was telling me that. And I was in the hospital for 6 months. And now I understand why when people go through stuff like this, they talk about it. Like my grandfather, he would always talk about when he was in the hospital for a long time and how he made it through. And, as a kid, I was like, okay, it's just grandpa telling stories. But I get why it's that important, like it becomes a part of you. And it's just like saying your name, like this is something that changed me permanently, kind of thing.
Mhm.
There's a lady in our church when I was younger who had, as it turns out, scleroderma. I talk about her in the book too, but I saw her. She had like a weird look about her. Her skin looked waxy, almost like plastic or something. But that was just who she was. Very nice lady. She always looked like she was struggling, but it's just I didn't know her any other way. And it turns out that she had scleroderma. Um, and I didn't know that until I had it and her husband saw me. So when my mom actually at the time said she died from her skin, I was like, my mom obviously doesn't know what she's
Yeah.
talking about. She's obviously crazy. And I would just ignore that because obviously your skin can't kill you. Right? And things just come full circle. You just don't ever know where you're going to end up. That's the thing. That's the kind of gift in challenges that it teaches you to be humble and it teaches you to be ready for the unknown unknown. You know, you have to.
And I think it also teaches you to enjoy life.
And enjoy life and don't look down on people. And it teaches you, you know what? You never know what somebody's going through. Never, never, never. You know, we call it invisible disability. Like when you have something like scleroderma, whatever, other illnesses like that, people can't see it. You know, like you can't see somebody's pain. You can't see somebody's fatigue. You know what I mean? Even without an illness like this, you just never know what somebody else is going through. And so that's always at the forefront of your mind, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna keep you any longer because I know you gotta go ahead and do your thing. But you're more than welcome to come back again. You're more than welcome to stay on as long as you want. It's up to you. But do you have anything that any other encouraging words that you'd like to say to people in the chat who you may not, like you said, you don't even know what they're going through or what someone who will be watching this after we go off air, what they want to say? What would you say to encourage them or whatever you want to say?
Hmm. How would I say to encourage them? Be the difference. Perfect. Be the difference in somebody's life. You know, there's so much I could say. I wouldn't even know where to begin, but I guess I can only speak from my own experience. We have the power to be whoever we want to be. And it takes a lot of courage. Like sometimes you just have to kind of separate yourself from everyone else and almost everything you've ever known to do that. You got to take a break for yourself, take a step to the side, and become the person you want to be. My experience was that I was trying to fit into a box before in my life. And now I'm not interested in the box. If I'm going to be the box, it's going to be the box that I make, as opposed to all these preconceived ideas I had before I learned are just not I were not right for me. And so you have to. I just feel like it's so important to know what you stand for, know who you are, know what you stand for, and just keep it pushing. That's it.
Yeah, and you guys know I'm a piggyback off of what she said because that is what we talk about on Hello World every single night. And I don't think she's ever caught an episode before, but it's
I caught
so
part
true.
of one. You had a therapist on.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But what she said is so true. Like once you get to know who you are, you are going to understand what your purpose is, or at least you're going to be intrigued and start living or flowing into what your purpose is. Because I always like to think like once we let go of the wheel, you know what I'm saying? Once we let go of the steering wheel of like, okay, I want to control my life and
Yeah.
I think this is best for me. Once we let that go and we absolutely let life flow, God, the creator, whoever you believe in, because everybody believes in something different. And I don't think I want to take that away from anyone else, right? So the more you do that, then you'll start going in the direction that life is going to do for the best outcome that will make you happiest so that the potentials that you can absolutely get will start to come your way. And then you'll start to see life is beautiful.
And
And
abundant.
life is beautiful. And then maybe you won't have to struggle as much as you've been struggling. Maybe you'll become more passionate about helping others. Maybe you'll start writing more books, like Melissa has a book. And I think you all should check that book out. Go into the link down below, the description and below. Her link has been there for a while, but now you get to see face and know that her story is absolutely true.
Mm.
And she goes into more details. We only got a little scratch of the surface. I want to go deeper, but like we only got a little scratch of the surface of what she has endured. And it also shows how the human will is stronger than a lot of different things that we give it credit for. So if you truly desire or want something in life, if it's really meant for you, you will have it. But you got to put action into that. Put action into that. Spend less time wasting time watching TV. Spend more time with your family, with your friends, on your visions. On the 24th, ooh, I said the 24th we were going to do a vision board, but I have another guest that I'm going to be doing that day. So maybe, Melissa, you can come back on and we'll do a vision board together.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the next time Melissa comes on, we'll do a vision board session with all of us, and then we'll all write our own vision board. Because Hello World is not just about talking to people and getting in people's business, knowing what it's really about us hearing each other's stories because we all go through something. And maybe part of her journey is something that guys may be going through. And now you're not alone for sure. You know what I mean? And like we will tackle issues on Hello World that are uncomfortable, that are not talked about, people are afraid to talk about. But it comes to a point where once we start talking, we feel better, right? That load has been taken off your shoulders. So, anyway, I'm here on Hello World
That was a word, girl.
every single night between 7 and 9 is when we go on. If anybody wants to join, you are absolutely more than welcome to come on Hello World. The doors are open for you. The phone or the panel is open for you. I really appreciate you, Melissa, for being here, giving us a little bit of your time. I really do. Um,
Good.
you're gonna keep on doing many, many beautiful things because you didn't come this far to just like stop. You know what I'm saying? So like keep on. I can't wait to see part 2 of your book. I
Yes.
can't wait to see more of your export import stuff going on.
Thank you, Joy.
Yes, yes. God,
For following up because this was like it took a while.
it sure did. I had to chase her down. I had
Yeah.
to chase her down. Hi, Nathan. How are you? This is Nathan's first time here.
Oh, hi, Nathan.
Girl, thank you for joining us. Nathan, we're wrapping up now, but if you would love to check out the replay, please do. Her story is amazing. I know all of our stories are amazing, but the simple fact is, I've rarely heard of somebody having at least 4 or more ailments and surviving and looking as beautiful and as happy and vibrant as she is right now. And, so, guys, you know that you are beautiful, you're amazing. There is absolutely no mistake about you. If you ever thought that, you have this story here from Melissa today to know that that is an actual truth. Um, just never give up. Whatever you do in life, please don't give up. Uh, please don't give up because once you get past that hump and you get to see the horizon and how beautiful
Yeah.
the horizon really is,
Yeah.
you'll know it's worth living, it's worth pursuing your dreams, it's worth following your dreams. So please be encouraged and don't give up. Remember, you are beautiful, your soul is beautiful. There is no mistake about you. If you think there's something bad, then fix it so that you can see your soul. And the purpose is so that when we go out here into the world, that we have our lights shining so brightly that they now have hope, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Girl. I like what Dad's Vintage Garage said too.
Yes, yes. Dad's Vintage is very, 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 very smart man.
Yeah.
Very smart man. um,
Yeah.
but anyway, guys, Melissa, you're gonna have to say the famous words that I entered in. But guys, my name is Joy from Be the Difference Clothing, and this is Melissa.
Melissa Mavor from Rainbow and Bloom, author of How Death Saved My Life.
Yes, you can check out her. You can check out her link. Please follow her on YouTube. She has great little videos on there. This is the link to her. Please, please, please go and subscribe, share, and definitely support everybody. Support everybody, guys in the chat. I really appreciate you guys. But this is another episode of Hello World, And we are saying thank you from Be the Difference Clothing and signing off saying, come on, say it with me. Hello,
Hello, one
hello,
love.
world. No, I want to hear that. Come on. Upbeat, please.
Okay.
Bring it up here. Hello,
Hello,
world. Yes. Guys.